never mind conquer or extract. With faith in the Creator, we will blaze a brand new path. When we let go of fear, the greed turns into laughter. Unity of all people, that is what we're after. Cruising down the red road with sweetgrass on my dashboard. Used to drug and drink, but now I'm sober, now I'm faster. Sharp as a tachytone and can't hold me back. I just want to build a new world for my children. With love, prayer, and unity, this nation is rebuilding. Up from the ash of genocide and division. Red, black, yellow, white as one, that's the vision. Every race participates in this new beginning. Sacred is the masculine and sacred is the feminine. Infinite, indigenous, continuous, deliberate. Nothing can stop the people once they got their intention set. Some people say that the land can be owned. Some people say that the land can be owned. But deep in our hearts we know it isn't so, because we don't even own this flesh or this bone. No, we can't take it with us on the soul's journey home. No, the only thing we keep is the lessons that we know. So when we wake from the slumber to remember we are one. One beautiful people under one beautiful sun. We must also release all claims to the earth, because she don't belong to us, we belong to her. Mother Earth was meant to be a place where we could learn. We pray to Chesapa for a blessing on the world. We practice Satyagraha because violence doesn't work. We pray for those who are injured and those who endure. Unconditional prayers for the whole wide world. Sun dance year round, yeah, I let the sage burn. Because when we pray for the people, we will start to understand what it means to be true woman, what it means to be true man. Cradled in the arms of the sky and the sand, just a strand in the tapestry of the master plan. Because together there is nothing that we cannot achieve. Together there is nothing that we cannot achieve. Can I hear you guys say that? Together there is nothing that we cannot achieve. 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 Find love, find healing, find unity. Hozho nahasli, Hozho nahasli, Hozho nahasli, Hozho nahasli. It is dawn. The sun is rising in the sky, and my grandmother and I are singing prayers at the horizon. This morning, she's teaching me the meaning of Hozho. Although there's no direct translation from the Navajo language into English, every living being knows what Hozho means. For Hozho is every drop of rain. It is every leaf on every tree. It is your every eyelash. It is every feather on the bluebird's wing. Hozho is undeniable beauty. And my grandmother knows this well, for she speaks a language that grew out of the desert floors, like redstone arms reaching into the sky and praising creation for all of its brilliance. Hozho is remembering that we are a part of the earth's brilliance. It is remembering that humanity is a part of the earth's brilliance. And my grandmother knows this well, for she speaks the same language as a Mukachukai snowstorm. She speaks the language of hooves hitting the dirt on birthdays, for she was a midwife and she would gallop to the women in labor until she became fluent in the language of suffering mothers, fluent in the language of joyful mothers, fluent in the language of handing glowing newborns to their creators. Hozho is an experience like this, she says, but it is not something you can experience alone. The eagles tell us as they lock talons in the stratosphere and fall to the earth as one. Hozho is like this inter-beauty. And my grandmother knows this well, for she speaks the same language as the male rain, which shoots lightning boys through the sky and pummels the green corn children and huddles the horses against the cliff sides in the early afternoon. She also speaks the language of the female rain, which sends the scent of dust and sage into our hovans, into our homes, and casts rainbows in the sky. Astane, we know what Hozho means. And each and every one of you here, you know what Hozho means. And I believe that we also know what Hozho does not mean. Like the days we walk in sadness, like the days we live in fear, like the days we live for money, or like the days when I lived for fame, or like the days when the conquistadors came, climbed off of their horses just to tell us that they were going to take the mountains. Now, we knew this was not Hozho for them to say, because we knew you could not own a mountain. But we knew we could make it Hozho once again. So we took their silver swords, and we took their silver coins, and we melted them with fire and buffalo hide bellows, and recast them into beautiful squash blossom jewelry pieces, and placed it around their necks. We took the silver helmets straight off of their heads and transformed it into a fearless beauty. We made jewelry. Hozho is like this, my grandma says. It's the healing of broken hearts. It's the healing of broken bones. It's the prayer that carried our people through genocide and disease. It's the prayer that will carry our people through anything, through this global warming, through this global fear that dances thin as illusion, like a shadow in our minds. This morning, my grandmother is teaching me something very beautiful and very important. She's teaching me that sometimes the easiest and most elegant way to defeat an army of hatred is to simply stand before it and sing to it. Sing to it beautiful songs until it falls to its knees and surrenders to you. It will do this, she says, because it will have finally found a sweeter fire than revenge, a sweeter fire even than greed. It will have found heaven, it will have found Hozho. And so, my grandmother, I can still see her talking to the colors of the sky at dawn. And she is saying, Hozho na hasli, Hozho na hasli, Hozho na hasli, Hozho na hasli, which means beauty and joy are restored again. It is done, my friends. Wake up. The night is over.